From the Opubco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson with Gina Mizell on the phone from Stillwater. And Gina, even though it's Thursday, it's game day. Does it have a game day vibe yet in Stillwater as we're talking here on Thursday morning?
Yeah, I mean, it is always interesting when you have a game day that's not on a Saturday, but Oklahoma State's gotten used to these Thursday night games, and so I think people are excited about the potential, to be on ESPN, that national exposure, and it should be a good crowd tonight with, the Wildcats coming into town, and it should be a good matchup.
Well, one of the Wildcats won't be playing tonight for Arizona. That's Jerron Kreiner, the wide receiver. He caught a bunch of passes last week, had some big yardage, but he's not going to be available tonight. How does that change the Wildcat offense as they get ready for this game against the Cowboys?
Well, it's definitely a huge blow for Arizona. You're right. Jerron Kreiner had 6 catches for 151 yards and a touchdown in their last game against Northern Arizona on Saturday. And so you take someone like that away from the passing game, they're going to feel it. It's going to affect that Arizona offense. But Nick Foles is a great quarterback, and they actually have a pretty deep receiving core there at Arizona. 4 other players caught a touchdown pass on Saturday. So it'll definitely affect the offense, but it's not like there aren't any other weapons that Nick Foles can throw the ball to. So it'll be a blow, but there are still some options out there for the Wildcats.
You talk about Nick Foles and his throwing ability. My question is he going to have time to throw? Gina, this offensive line, 5 new starters for the Wildcats. How is that going to impact things? And, I mean, Oklahoma State's defensive front, not the most experienced either, but how does a new offensive line essentially impact this Wildcat offense?
Well, I think that's the matchup to watch. I think you hit the nail on the head there. You're right, and it's tough to judge either of those, either Arizona's offensive line or Oklahoma State's defensive line based on their last game just because of the competition. So I think that, Arizona's offensive line, even though it's all 5 new starters, it should be an upgrade compared to Louisiana Lafayette offensive line that Oklahoma State saw on Saturday. But it should still be a unit that if this defensive line, wants to be a contender in the Big 12 and wants to show that they can be a force in conference play, this is a line that they should be able to handle and should be able to get some pressure on Nick Foles. So that's definitely something to watch. And yeah, that's going to be the big question is, Nick Foles can make all the plays he wants, but if he's not protected and if he has no time, then it's tough to get anything done on offense.
All right, thanks, Gina. We appreciate your time on Game Day. And be sure to check in with Gina's blog for her tailgate blog later this afternoon. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day. From me, Oklahoma.